Francesca.
I'm going to try to ask this a different way. I might not be very successful, but you have stated throughout the briefing that the United States has taken a leading role and that this crisis is obviously worsening. My question is, how can the United States continue to take a leading role as it worsens without accepting more of the refugees?
Well, Francesca, the way that we've played the leading role thus far is by being the largest bilateral donor of humanitarian assistance to this crisis situation. And the question before policymakers inside this government is, what additional steps can we take to provide even more assistance to what is a growing crisis? And we have seen countries in Europe step up and announce some new measures. The EU is holding this emergency meeting this coming weekend. And there are other countries who are indicating that they are also looking at what they've done to see if there's additional support that they can provide as well. And they should be doing that.
So by definition, though, you're saying that in order to continue taking a leading role, though, that doesn't necessarily mean taking in more refugees.
It doesn't necessarily. I don't want to prejudge the outcome of the review that's underway. But the other thing that the United States has been doing, and we're going to redouble our efforts to try to do this, is to try to resolve the political situation inside Syria. That, after all, is what has caused this humanitarian crisis in the first place. It is the failure of the Assad regime to effectively govern that country, and it has allowed that country to become divided and racked by violence. And we've even seen the Assad regime use the military of that country to carry out terrible acts of violence against Syrian citizens. That is deplorable. That is why you've heard the administration indicate our observation that the President Assad has lost the legitimacy to lead that country. And there has been periodically over the last several years an effort by the United Nations to try to broker a diplomatic political agreement that would allow for a peaceful political transition inside of Syria. That effort thus far has not been successful, but it has enjoyed the strong support of the United States, and we're going to continue to support efforts that can address the root cause of this refugee crisis, which is trying to address the many political problems that are plaguing Syria right now.
Sure, and then lastly on that, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's okay.
On the terrorism angle, there have been many Republicans, not just at the presidential level though, but many Republicans have said that they are concerned that by raising the cap and letting more in, it could allow a terrorist element in. Is that something the administration is seriously concerned about? Is that part of the reason why it wouldn't raise the cap?
Well, whenever we're considering a foreign policy question, concerns about the basic safety and security of the United States and our citizens are at the forefront. And I can certainly tell you that as the range of approaches are considered through this process, the safety and security of the American people will be the top concern on the list.
Thank you.
Okay. April.
Josh.